And I want to introduce to you Melanie Tveti. Today we're going to talk about all things branding because Melanie has a lot of background and information on this topic.
You as a person, you are a brand itself. And, in your, whether it's a corporate career or your entrepreneurship business, you are a brand of some form. And the way I actually figured it out was through the process of enough job interviews and figuring out who I was. I can tell you more about that later.
Okay.
I call it a series of unfortunate events is what I call that period in my life. But what it really comes down to is understanding who you are and what you bring to the table and what values you bring, and what, like, understanding more of your personality as well. That is really that core piece. And that's why I say I had to figure it out the hard way, because I didn't have, I lost my job enough times, so I had to figure out how to rebrand myself. And it's constantly figuring out what I want, what values I bring, what do I believe? How do I want to, what types of jobs did I want? What types of jobs I didn't want? And it comes to the same thing with what type of clients do I want now versus clients, it's going to be very specific on the clients too. And say, who do I want to be working with? And that is where the story that we have, our past, is really the foundation piece. And then from there, you can take it to the next level and say, okay, I know what I bring to the table. Now, how do I want to be perceived?
What's the difference between branding and your marketing, or how do they work together?
So branding, like I said, is more on, I'll actually say I'll switch to marketing. Marketing is simply finding a need and filling it. You are trying with your marketing. Your goal is to bring somebody through from start to finish a process to lead them from a lead to a client. So like I said, your marketing is saying, okay, for me, you're struggling with your voice, you're struggling to articulate what you say, you're struggling to understand what makes you different. Those are all needs that I can help fill. So my marketing needs to my marketing needs to say that, to give you that feeling, give you that understanding that that's what I can do for you. Where the brand is how I'm coming across. It's how, like I say, it's the thing that, recently I did a Facebook post on my page, and I said, which one do you choose, Coke or Pepsi? I think you might have saw that one. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I asked that because they are two people, or two companies that are competing in the exact same space. They're both colas. They taste very similar. I mean, they're a cola product, but yet I choose Coca-Cola. I'm a Coke girl. I'm more drawn to that. Some of it's taste. Some of it is also the way they advertise, the way they promote, the way that they are, the way they're perceived. If you think of like their like Christmas commercials.
Yeah, the polar bear.
Or a lot of their commercials, the polar bear, it's cute, it's happiness. It's more of like an innocent personality, where they're trying to take you on a journey, and they're wanting you to help experience paradise. They want to make you happy. That is what the vision and the feeling that they're trying to give you. Where Pepsi, on the other hand, is more pop culture. They're more funny. They are they're a little bit more trendier. Where those two things, they found a way to compete in the same space, and really figure out what makes them different. And so, like, the Pepsi is more of a jester, like a comedian, versus Coca-Cola is more on the innocence. So it could be taste, it could be other things, but also you might be drawn to one ad versus another. I mean, when you go through any grocery store, you're going to pick either one brand versus another. I mean, you know, you go through any store or Target or any other place, you're going to pick a certain brand